collective action of people who share the vision for an equitable world for all. A mother of 4 and a former obstetrics nurse and educator, Marcia Wallace was at a crossroads in her life when the idea for Together Women Rise originated. She felt increasingly compelled to find a way to make a difference in the world. In the fall of 2002, she read an article about a group of friends who met for potluck dinners, collected donations for needy families, and using the money they would have otherwise spent in restaurants. Marcia was struck by the idea of using dining out dollars to help others. On her birthday in January, she invited some friends to her home to celebrate. A hat was passed, and $750 was raised for Women International, a nonprofit that supports marginalized women affected by war and conflict. Barb Collins' invitation to her neighbor's birthday party was the first of many serendipitous moments in Together Women Rise's history. Barb was raised by a father who taught her that true leadership begins with a code of personal values and commitment to living to serve others. Barb devoted her career to working in the nonprofit sector, and after a life-altering trip to Tanzania, a flame lingered in Barb for reaching across the oceans to keeping doors of opportunity for the remarkable women she met. In 2003, when invited to Marcia Wallace's unusual birthday party, Barb's passion and experience merged into her calling. The collaboration between Marcia and Barb led to the founding of Together Women Rise, and a wave of eye-opening education and awareness that spread across the country, making significant positive changes for women and girls across the globe. Together Women Rise received its 501c3 status in 2004. In 2005, the organization was included in a New Ventures in Philanthropy study on giving circles and partnerships with the Peace Corps, UNICEF, and Michelle Obama's Let's Let Girls Learn initiative. In 2014, Marcia and Bob were awarded the Everyday Freedom Heroes Award from the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. The Together Women Rise Grants Program has 2 key components that support our overall mission to achieve global gender equality. Featured grants are largely focused on delivering direct services by funding grassroots operations that empower and support women and girls in low-income and marginalized communities in the global South. You can see examples of these featured grantees scrolling across the screen. Featured grants may include project grants. These fund a specific project or a particular deliverable for a specific time frame. Or general operations grants. They cover an organization's day-to-day ongoing expenses, such as salaries, utilities, office supplies, and more. Or capacity building grants. Strengthen an organization's systems and thereby increase its effectiveness. Our transformation partnerships are designed to invest in areas where we can make the biggest impact on achieving global gender equality by addressing the root causes of gender inequality. Some of these partnerships include shared interest, investing in Southern Africa, which works directly with financial institutions to change how the banking system serves women entrepreneurs. Another partnership is Equality Now. Together Women Rise has awarded a partnership grant for $100,000 per year for 2 years, 2023 and 2024, to support Equality Now's work to achieve legal gender equality, end harmful practices, end sexual violence, and end sexual exploitation. Charity Navigator gives Together Women Rise a 100% 4-star rating. 65% of its revenue comes directly from chapter donations, with the bulk of the rest from fundraising campaigns. In the 2023 financial report, which can be viewed on their website, 79% of Rise's revenue went directly to the featured and transformation partnerships. This includes the grant itself and any costs in managing the programs. 10% went to mission support in the form of administrative costs, including rent, insurance, financial management, and the final 11% towards fundraising support, which includes donor development and brochures like you'll find on the back table after the service. In 2023, featured grants directly impacted 25,913 women and girls in 12 countries, with an indirect impact of 733,391 family and community members. So here are our global issues. The value of investing in girls' education. Investing in girls' education benefits everyone. Education is a basic human right for all girls, and investing in girls' education is a smart investment with far-reaching benefits for girls and society at large. Some of these benefits include increased income and economic growth. Because of the large gender gap in education, increasing education for girls has a stronger impact on a country's educational attainment than simply increasing education for all. This, in turn, increases a country's labor force participation, total earnings, standard of living, economic growth, and poverty reduction. Reduced child marriage, early pregnancy, and fertility. Educating girls delays the age at which girls marry and have children, helping to break the cycle of poverty. It also reduces total fertility and population growth, which can be an economic impediment in the global South. Improved health outcomes. Educating girls improves the health outcomes of girls and their families, especially if they are informed about nutrition, healthcare, and family planning. Because it delays the age at which girls have children, it also leads to healthier pregnancies and lower rates of infant and maternal mortality. Enhanced female empowerment and civic engagement. By educating girls, they gain the knowledge, skills, and confidence to make informed decisions about their lives, health, and future. They are better equipped to challenge gender norms and advocate for their rights. They are more likely to participate in civic and political life, leading to more inclusive and representative government. If all girls completed primary education, it is estimated that child marriage would drop by 14%. But if all girls completed secondary education, child marriage would drop by 64%. Gains have been made, but they have been uneven and incomplete. Impressive gains have been made in girls' primary and secondary education relative to boys in the global South. Prior to the pandemic, girls' enrollment in primary and lower secondary schools had almost reached parity with boys' enrollment. These overall trends, however, hide significant gender gaps in education. These gaps include access to education still remains a problem. In many countries, girls still face significant barriers to education due to factors such as poverty, distance to schools, and cultural norms that prioritize boys' education over girls. Completion rates lag behind. even when girls enroll in school, completion rates are lower for girls compared to boys. Factors such as early marriage, pregnancy, household responsibilities, and gender-based violence often force girls to drop out of school before completing their education. Quality of education needs to be improved. Girls tend to receive a lower quality of education compared to boys due to factors such as gender bias in teaching, materials, and curriculum, lack of female teachers as role models, and inadequate facilities, particularly regarding sanitation and menstrual hygiene management. Translating education into paid employment. Girls tend to have a more difficult time than boys translating their education into paid employment in the formal economy. So how does RISE work? Through our featured grants program, we highlight a different organization project each month. RISE provides a variety of learning materials on the issue and how the grant will be used. We gather at my or a member's home, and after a social time, I introduce the month's topic. We watch a video that further explains the month's grantee, and then have time for discussion. This is followed by a potluck dinner, probably the most impressive potluck you've ever seen. As most members take the time to research and prepare a dish native to the country we are supporting. Kachumbari, samosa, jollof rice, momo, queen cake. Members of RISE have open minds and open palates. As education is the primary goal, there is no set financial obligation. Rather, attendees give what they can from their hearts. The featured grantee for June this year was the Kula Project in Rwanda. The Kula Project is working to eradicate poverty through development of entrepreneurs in Rwanda's coffee communities. Coffee, something near and dear to our hearts. The $50,000 operations grant will fund a 15-month Kula Fellowship to equip farmers with training and tools, increase coffee production, support diversified revenue streams, and offer personal mentorships. The life challenges of the women in Rwanda are extreme poverty and limited opportunity to escape it, gender-based violence, lack of education access, and limited access to credit and resources. We'll now view a 4-minute video of the coffee farmers in Rwanda.
Rwanda, land of 1,000 hills, a small but mighty country in the heart of Africa. Currently, 52% of Rwanda's population lives in extreme poverty, including the majority of the 450,000 coffee farmers who live there. Most farming families live day to day in survival mode, only thinking about their next need, without the opportunity to look ahead and dream of what life could be. In rural coffee-growing regions, poverty is uniquely harsh for women. Despite carrying an unequally large burden of responsibilities, women are often excluded from decision-making processes and have less access to finance, resources, training, and leadership opportunities. Kula is working to change that. And with Together Women Rise, that change will become a reality. Kula exists to eradicate poverty through the development of entrepreneurs in Rwanda's coffee communities. Our primary approach is the Kula Fellowship, a 12-month poverty graduation model that joins agricultural support, income diversification, and business coaching designed to elevate female coffee farmers and their families out of extreme poverty. Through this program, we are working to support women to see themselves not just as farmers, but as business owners, to experience a real, empowering, and sustainable increase in income, and to create agency and vision for what lies ahead. Meet Jeanette, a Kula graduate, mother, coffee farmer, and entrepreneur. When we first met Jeanette, she was quiet and shy, lacking confidence and clarity in what her future might be. She and her husband Everest were growing coffee in order to make ends meet, but due to lack of training and opportunity, was struggling to provide a better life for their children. But with every step through the program, Jeanette pushed past every barrier that once held her back. Through training in self-esteem, she became a fellowship group leader, guiding fellow farmers toward collective progress. After engaging in conversations about family and gender equality, she started speaking on women's issues in her village, eventually running for public office and becoming the representative for women in her sector. And through training and coaching in business, she participated in Kula's business investment competition, designing a creative business plan and pitching it in front of a panel of judges, ultimately being awarded as one of the winners. Since then, she and her husband have made great strides for themselves and their children, expanding their coffee farm by 1,250% and increasing their household income by over 3,000%. Upon graduating from the program, Jeanette told us, now the sky is no longer the limit because my dreams exceed all limits. 1,150 entrepreneurs like Jeanette have graduated from the Kula Fellowship, impacting over 5,000 individuals. On average, 1 year after graduating from the program, fellows more than triple their household income and double their coffee harvest, empowering them to send their kids to school, expand their businesses, plan for the future, and dream bigger dreams. Over the next 5 years, we're growing our impact while increasing our efficiency, planning to graduate 7,000 more fellows from the program, impacting over 17,000 people in Rwanda. Through our partnership with Together Women Rise, we will empower even more women to pave a path out of poverty and into prosperity for themselves and their children. Thank you for being a part of that story.